Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is a follow-up to the previous film, which was Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's been 2 years since we've seen the Spengler family, but they are now living in New York City and taking on the responsibility of hunting ghosts. But do they have what it takes to carry on this family business, and not to mention this franchise? But the real question is here...
Sometimes shit happens, someone has to deal with it, and who are you gonna call?
Someone else.
I love the original Ghostbusters film, and as much side-eye as the sequel gets, and I do understand why it gets that side-eye, I still enjoy that film because the team works so good together. Dude, I'm even wearing a Ghostbusters shirt for this review. Whoa, wait, look at that. I even really enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife. The movie managed to do something a little different, brought in some good characters, and as much nostalgia baiting as it did, the film still managed to have a lot of heart. The opening to Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is actually pretty cool because we get some lore on our main villain here. We get a pretty cool car chase sequence here, and not to mention we get some updated technology for catching ghosts. I did think it was pretty cool and pretty clever, actually, to use drones to help catch ghosts that are in the air. And as much chaos and destruction is going on right here in New York City, there's not a lot of consequence. But then that's when the mayor of New York City comes into the film, and the film just makes it complete.
Are we stopped?
We're stopped, sir.
I mean, you all remember...
I'm Walter Peck.
I know, right? What a coincidence. Not only is he the mayor of New York City, he still hates the Ghostbusters. And his only real purpose to be in this movie is for the audience to say this.
Remember Ghostbusters? Oh, I remember Slimy?
But something I thought I would never say relating to the Ghostbusters universe, Mr. Peck is actually right. I mean, when you really think about it, the Ghostbusters are running around with a nuclear reactor on their back. Not to mention 2 of them are kids running around with loaded laser guns, basically. I'm sure age and some sort of certification would need to come into play. I mean, let's be serious here. If you needed to get your house fumigated and these 2 Twinkies showed up at your front door, not only would you slam the door in their face, you would turn around and scream this.
There are babies!
To be completely honest here, people, from this moment on, nothing in this movie makes any sense. And there are just way too many characters in here. This movie is so obnoxiously bloated, all these characters are just trying to squeeze themselves onto the screen. But not only are there way too many characters in this film, they have nothing to do and they have nothing to say.
So, do you like stuff?
There are random subplots that get thrown in here, then suddenly get forgotten. And they do this weird subplot with Phoebe, and it just seems so out of character, but I guess it's supposed to be cute and remind us of the movie Ghost. It just doesn't make any sense and came off more as awkward, and I literally grunted this in the theater.
That was really stupid.
What was annoying for me and basically upsetting for me was that this movie had sprinkles of some decent ideas. They just don't do anything with it. I found myself as the movie was going on rewriting it in my head just so we could have a cohesive story that makes sense. Welcome to the part of the review where I rewrite the film using elements from the movie just so this film can make more sense. Okay, so let's go with the concept. In order to become a Ghostbuster, you need to be the age of 21 or over. And also certain certifications and physical requirements would need to be involved. So for the sake of this movie, let's cut some characters out of here too. Mom is basically a throwaway character in both of these films.
They're as useless as an asshole right here.
Mom could just be wrapping up affairs in the previous town that they were living in, or she could be in jail. It wouldn't even matter. Same goes to the brother in the film. He has absolutely nothing to do, and the best way to get rid of him is...
I'm going to college.
We love Paul Rudd, so we're actually going to keep him. We're also going to keep his theme too about getting approval from the kids. But we're also going to add that he's trying really hard to be a Ghostbuster, but he's just not cutting it yet. This character is in the film only for the reason because she was in the previous film, and if you ask me what she brought to the table, I would say this.
Nothing!
Same goes for this one. Wait, what's his name again? Oh, podcast. Oh, the only pod thing that comes to mind when I think about this character is the actual pod racing scene from episode 1. Because everything that comes out of this character's mouth is this.
This is pod racing.
Wait, now we're getting somewhere. Now the story's gonna be making more sense. Since Phoebe's not a Ghostbuster yet, she spends all her free time with Uncle Ray at his shop. Phoebe is so amazed by Uncle Ray. She loves reading all his books about science and all the stuff that he has about the supernatural. She loves picking his brain and learning all he has to know about the occult. Ray loves sharing all his knowledge and information with Phoebe because it makes him feel alive. But it's also going to be making him feel very emotional because it's going to feel like he's getting a second chance with his best friend. While Paul Rudd's character is going through rigorous training with Winston and Vakeman, he's also starting to feel like he can't measure up to Ray. This ancient thing washes up ashore and this homeless person takes us to Ray's shop to exchange for money. Oh look, Patton Oswalt is in the movie, and now he's cut from the movie because his character only provided exposition and was basically a bridge to a nostalgia scene. All of Patton Oswalt's exposition goes straight into Ray's character, since Ray is an expert on the occult and likes to look up stuff like this. Ray and Phoebe are totally geeking out over this because they're doing all the research they can on this ancient relic, and they are geeking out, and this is the core of your movie. Not only will this be the heart and soul of the movie, you still manage to have actual ghost busting. You could still go with the themes that Phoebe brings up in the film of like, what makes a ghost bad? What turns them bad? Are they all bad? Where do they go when they expire? Like, if Grandpa Egon possibly went to heaven or somewhere better, why can't they all go? Something that I've learned from Supernatural. Not all ghosts are bad, but the longer that they stick around on Earth, they become vengeful spirits. We're definitely keeping the villain in the film, but let's give them a little more personality and let's have some actual consequences in this movie because a lot of people should be getting frostbite or worse. And let's have a big moment at the end of the film where Paul Rudd's character has to step up and then... But yeah, sorry about all that, but this movie was just so exhausting mentally, and it was just very frustrating because nothing made any sense. Things were just thrown in there just to happen. There were absolutely no consequences. Every character in this film looked like they had absolutely nothing to do. We had a villain with absolutely no personality. I was almost hoping for the villain to do this.
All right, everyone, chill.
And towards the end of the movie, the film is not even a bad Ghostbusters movie anymore. It's a stupid Street Fighter moment. It really seems like the people that like this movie are actually comparing it to the old cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters. I will say this, the Real Ghostbusters cartoon had much more better writing and it was a lot more edgier. This movie is just the shell of what the franchise used to be. And something about this movie that rubs me the wrong way is Dan Aykroyd, the co-creator of the Ghostbusters, co-writer of the Ghostbusters, has written multiple Ghostbusters sequels that no one has even looked at. And it's unfortunate because we're stuck with crap like this. I really don't understand why the studios and a lot of the fan base don't realize what made the original Ghostbusters movie so good. What made the original Ghostbusters movie so good was it was actually shot like a horror supernatural movie that contained some funny moments and comedic actors, but those actors played it seriously. They weren't interested in your kids or selling toys, they just wanted to make a good movie. My rating for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is...
Fuck you!
And my God, please just...
Stop it!
Alright, did you see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? Did you like it? Did you despise it as much as I did? Did you like the little changes that I made to the movie? Comment your answer below, and please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, and I'll see you at the movies.
This show ain't no good.